couple days since I've been live. I'm so sorry. Life has been crazy and hectic, but we're back. We're going to finish out these 21 days, even if they're not. I'm committing to the things that I said I'm going to do. So, hello. If you are new here, hopefully my audio is working okay. I'm trying a different audio, so we'll see if this works. But if you are new here, if we've never had a chance to connect or chat before, my name is Siobhan, and I mentor driven women who are willing to put in the hard work and who are willing to be coachable and help them build something. We do this together, build something that is real, and they build it with integrity and with authenticity and clarity. And so one of the things that I'm talking about today is kind of like a turning point for me that happened with this business. So quick little story. If you are new here and don't know, I've been in the social selling industry for a really long time. I've been with a couple of different companies until I found the company that I'm currently with, and I am 100% convinced, without a shadow of a doubt, we have the best products in the industry, and we have the best company in the industry, and I'm on the best team in the industry, and I'm just going to say it. I believe it with my entire being. And so, like I said, I wanted to talk about today a turning point for me. I did know from the very beginning that this is where I was meant to be. I can tell you about that whole story at another time if you are interested in hearing that. I just don't want this live to be 30 minutes. But for me, the official ahas, they weren't at the beginning. It wasn't when all the excitement and the hype was all there. It actually was a little bit after that, which is important because a lot of times after time, if you are not with the right place, that excitement, that hype can die down. And again, we don't trust motivation, but it was very clear to me that even after all this time, I had these aha turning point moments. But these are the moments that actually shifted everything for me. Because a lot of people think shift happens when you start, which it does, and it can. But for me, these very key things happened a little bit later. So earlier this year, we were having car issues with my old car. Little did we know that my car was going to die and we'd end up having to buy a new one. So in hindsight, we shouldn't have put any of this money into it, but I digress. We were having issues with the car. We took it in to get looked at. And I remember we were in the car. I don't know if we were driving back home or what we were doing, but Matt got the phone call about the estimate for our car. They were like, this is what's going on. This is what it's going to take to fix it. What do you want to do? And it wasn't, for the first time in a long time, there wasn't panic. It wasn't dramatic. It was not like scrambling and trying to get things in order. It was a simple, no problem, let's do it. Let's get it fixed. When can we get the car back? It was such an easy yes. And that had not been our story ever, because for so long we were a one income household. And then once we weren't anymore, sorry, I keep messing with my hair, so I want to make sure I don't have like flyaways. Even once we weren't a one income household anymore, it was like we were playing catch up to try to pay down the credit cards that we used just to get by, or trying to build up the savings that we never really had a chance to have because we'd save a little bit and then something would happen, and you know how that goes. So it mattered to me because for the first time probably ever, we had an expense that we didn't plan for. It was not a small expense, and we were able to say, okay, yep, let's get it done with no payment plan, with no having to drain the savings account, without even having to check the bank account. I knew how much I had made from this company, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Easy, yes. There was no anxiety, which for a long time, basically our entire married life, finances have been such a stressor because, again, we were a one income household, and it's not the 90s where you can live on a one income household. You dang near need 3 right now to make it by. And so that's when I realized this isn't just extra money. This is peace. This is peace about when emergencies happen, because they will always happen. They will continue to happen. And we can plan for those, but we don't know when that's going to come. And this is the kind of support that actually changes how you live, because you're not waiting for that other shoe to drop, which is how I constantly lived. Like, oh gosh, what if an emergency happens today? How are we gonna do this? And the fact is that most Americans cannot afford a $300 to $500 emergency. If a $300 to $500 emergency were to pop up today, most Americans don't have the funds to cover said emergency. And that's sad to me. That's not okay. That's not how it should be. So that was one of my breakthroughs. Another breakthrough for me was, sorry, okay, my computer's making a lot of noises, so I want to make sure she's good. All right, you're plugged in and charging, so you're not going to die on me. So for a long time for me, again, I've been in the social selling industry for a long time. I thought consistency meant giving 100% every single day. If you thought that as well, say I thought that in the comments. That mindset burned me out over and over again. If you were to look back at my past, I would go hard for maybe a month, and then I would burn out and fall off the face of the earth for a couple months. And then I would get the energy back, and I'd go hard again for another couple weeks, a month, maybe even a month and a half. And then I'd get burnt out and fall off again. And I just repeated that cycle of like, okay, I've got the energy, let's go 100%, let's go hard, let's hustle, let's hustle, let's hustle. I'm burnt out, let me recluse and step into a shell. Carol said she felt that too. Hi, Summer. And oh no, my light died. It's okay. Isn't that fun when technology and things don't work out? So my breakthrough was realizing that consistency is actually having a bare minimum. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, what the heck, Siobhan? Hear me out. The bare minimum or your base numbers are things that you can do even when you're sick, even when you're overwhelmed, even if you're having a hard day, even if you had a day like yesterday where I was constantly running my kids around to all their extracurricular activities. You set your bare minimum that you can do no matter what. And this keeps it so that you can stay consistent, because on some days you can do more. On days where, like today, for instance, I didn't have very much going on, so I can do more than just my bare minimum. I can do more than my base numbers. But some days I only have enough bandwidth to do the bare minimum. That was yesterday for me. I did my bare minimum and I was like, okay, that's all I can do today. That's fine. But I stopped quitting on myself, and that was a big thing. Hey, thanks. Oh yeah, if you're watching live, comment live. And if you're watching the replay, comment replay. So I stopped quitting on myself. This year I have this mentality that is keep the promises that I make to myself, because you know who let me down more than anybody else in this world? Me. I let myself down all the time because I'm like, I'm going to stay committed. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to go at least 3 times a week. And I would do that for 2 weeks and then I'd fall off. Or I'd be like, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I was never consistent with the things that I said I was going to do. So 2 big sayings for me this year are keep the promises you make to yourself, and follow the plan, not the mood. Our moods cannot be trusted. You follow the plan. Your mood does this. Ignore the mood, follow the plan. At the end of the day, you will be light years closer to your goal if you just follow the plan and not the mood. So I had to realize that consistency isn't perfection. It is simply staying in the game. And so for me, creating those bare minimum numbers was such a game changer, because then I don't burn out. Days like today, like I said, I've done more than my bare minimum. I've done probably 3 times my bare minimum. Yesterday I did the bare minimum, and I'm okay with that. Consistency does not look like 100% every day, all day. Sometimes it's like this. But as long as you're doing the things, that is consistency. Another huge turning point for me was really understanding this compensation plan here. Now, I will admit, I don't 100% understand the compensation plan. I think there's like 10 or 12 ways that we get paid. I don't know all of them. I probably should. I've been here for a little over a year. I should take the time to look through that. But here's the thing. I did read some of it. I did learn some of it. I've watched how it works. But the big one, the main one that I focus on is our new customer bonus. When we sign up a new customer, every order, or the orders that they place within their first 30 days, we get 50% of that commission. So if they spend $100, we get $50. If they spend $200, we get $100. And that's the easiest one. Carol, you are live. Live, I think. I love that. That's the easiest way for me. So for instance, I was looking at flights to Orlando for our conference coming up the end of April, and my husband and I were talking about it today, and I was like, okay, so right now tickets are about $500, and I pick up my calendar while we're talking, and I go, okay, so I know that if I sell a duo, it costs my customer $116, which, again, another topic for another day, but we have the most affordable products on the market. It's insane. They do 2 products do for me what 7 products did prior, and I'm paying probably 1/4 of what I used to pay. So anyways, again, I digress. 116 divided by 2, I already know, is $58. So with every new customer, if they get 1 duo, that's $58 commission for me. So I literally picked up my phone and I go 500 divided by 58. That's 9 new customers. That's totally doable. If I do 2 duos, which is very common, a lot of people want help with energy and weight, and they decide to do 2 duos, that's $116. 50 or 500 divided by 116, that's 5 new customers, and that is my plane ticket. So easy. So again, I got off a little bit, but learning how the comp plan works, I don't worry about all the other ones. I base my goals off of that 50% commission. Anything that I get above and beyond that is a blessing. The key is here, the comp plan is built for us to win. It is built for us to win. There are no gotchas. There aren't hoops to jump through. We earn what we deserve. There are no loopholes. A lot of times companies, the corporate team will make the comp plan in such a way that it's almost impossible to win. So they wow you with these big numbers, but in the fine print, it's like you have to sign away your first child and give the blood of a virgin in order to actually get this. It's not like that here. Even today, literally like 20 minutes before I hopped on this live, I got a notification in our team chats that our CEO changed the comp plan again to benefit us. She made it in a way that we win even bigger. And she's always doing this. She's always changing the comp plan to our benefit. She did it again in November, where she changed it to benefit us. And she does that because she built in the field for a long time. And she said, I want to create a company that is different. And she is doing that. Sorry. Heck yeah, I'm going to conference. My hands are super shaky. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like from the news of that and I'm like super hyped up right now. So just so you know, that does not happen everywhere. A lot of companies, especially right now, a lot of companies are closing their doors. A lot of them are filing bankruptcy. A lot of them are changing their comp plan to keep the money in corporate's pockets. They're not doing that here. Fun fact, most companies pay 65% of every dollar that comes in back to corporate, and 35% goes to the brand partners or influencers or distributors, whatever you want to call them. Here it's flipped. So for every dollar, corporate gets 35%. They work off of 35%, and we as builders get 65% of every dollar that is spent. Our CEO does not take a salary because she wants that money to go into our pockets. That does not happen everywhere. So for me, that felt like confirmation every time. Well, first of all, when I looked at the comp plan, I was sold. I didn't want to be sold. I'm a skeptic, and I was like, surely I'll find something I hate here. I didn't. But that doesn't happen for most places. So that was confirmation for me in the beginning. This is where I need to be. And every time a change like that is made for our benefit, I'm like, yes, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm meant to build. So if you have been watching from the sidelines, if you've been seeing what I'm doing from home, and if you've been wanting something for yourself, but you don't know where to start, let's start with a conversation. It is as simple as that. You do not have to have it all figured out. You do not have to know every single thing about the comp plan, because spoiler alert, I don't either. I don't think my upline does either. Like, we know the parts that we know, and then we're like, we open our paycheck, it's more than we thought. Hallelujah. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be open. Like I said at the beginning, I mentor driven women who are coachable and who are willing to put in the hard work, and together we build something that can leave a legacy, that can create something to give you margin, to give you freedom, to give you, like, I was talking to a mama the other day and she's like, I don't want to put my kid in childcare. And I'm like, I don't blame you, because first of all, it's expensive, and second of all, you get 18 summers with your kids. Don't you want to spend, 18 if you're lucky. When they're teenagers, they probably don't want to spend the summertime with you. So don't you want to spend every waking second that you can with them? So if this resonated with you, if you're curious, reach out, let's have a conversation. Let's just see if we would be a good fit working with each other. There's zero pressure. I do not convince people. Like, I'm like the Harry Potter sorting hat. I give you the information and you either say, yes, this looks like it's for me. No, it looks like it's not. Either way, it's great. No harm, no foul. But just see if this could be a good fit for you. I am so incredibly proud of what I'm building here. I could honestly cry thinking about it. Like, I have never felt this aligned, the words are hard right now. I've never felt this aligned. I've never felt this sure of something. I can say with 100% confidence, you can win here. You can make real income here. And I've never been able to confidently say that anywhere else. Because sure, I might be able to make a paycheck, but teaching someone else how to do it was super hard. Here, it is not like that. So I'm always open and willing to walk alongside the right people. So if that sounds like you, if you want to chat, if you have any more questions or want more information, hop in my inbox. Let's see if this is a good fit for you. And I'm going to end this before it's 20 minutes long. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday night.